Hello everybody, this is Oski, and it's been a while since I've made a video. I was in Japan for like 3 weeks, which was absolutely heavenly. And yeah, it was a great trip, but now I'm back, and a lot's happened since I've been gone. First of all, I want to talk a little bit about Galactic Battle and what happened with that. Some people loved it, most people hated it. I enjoyed what I played, which was probably only like 20 matches in total, but I had fun with like the Force Lightning and the laser weapons. Yeah, overall, I think it was pretty fun. But like I said, I didn't really play that much of it. I really enjoyed the DMR sniper. That was awesome. And there was also tons of great cosmetics that I picked up, like Darth Jar Jar and the customizable Mandalorian skin, which is so good. Such a good skin. And overall, my girlfriend really enjoyed it and misses it a lot. But now, that's here and there. We're done with it. Now let's talk about where we are now. Fortnite Chapter 6, Season 3, Super. I think the season is super great so far. The theming is so interesting, and I love that it ties into with the chapter because Daigo's the villain, the Academy is fighting him, and it all like ties together with the demon presence, which we started the chapter with. So overall, I'm really impressed that they've actually kept the chapter on a similar thread, even though the themes of each seasons have been very different. We started with Japan, crime, Star Wars, and now we're in superheroes. Very different, but there's still that demon thread throughout all of them, except for the Star Wars one. And I also just really enjoyed Daigo's POI and his biome. And apparently, I saw this in a tweet, in LEGO Expeditions, we're going to have a place where he harvests the spires that you can fight around the map. And I wish that made it onto the BR island rather than Lego, because the Kintsugi biome is just so cool. And I feel like the map has a bit too much of the past seasons, like the Star Wars POIs and the crime biome. And it's a little bit bland, except for the new POIs. I really enjoy the new POIs, the futuristic ones, and especially Demon's Domain. This season's Battle Pass is pretty meh, in my opinion. Overall, I think it's really average. Superman is a good skin, but he should have been in the shop since he was already in the Battle Pass once, and that means that people who had the previous one were forced to get another one, whether they wanted to or not, which I think is kind of stupid. And all the superhero skins kind of look pretty generic and very similar. A lot of them are just females in like skin-tight black suits with some color to indicate their power. But overall, I don't really like Battle Passes that have a very, similar look for all the characters. I like them to be very different, but in the same theme. Morgan Mist is a really basic tier 100 in my opinion. However, her glider, backbling, and pickaxe are great. Ziggy is an okay meme skin. Not my favorite, but he's still not bad. Robin is a great skin. I'm so glad that we finally have him. I think Haley Sky is interesting with her monster form and the way she can transform between them. And we also don't really have a cheerleader skin in the game, which is really surprising. I don't really like Synthwave. I think her design is boring. And her facial expression is really creepy in my opinion. Her eyes are they never stop staring. It's kind of creepy. And then Killswitch, he's actually a really good skin. I just would have preferred him having a helmet or some type of head covering style because I don't really like his hair or face. I think with a helmet, he could be one of the best skins. And I'm also really pissed off about the fact that Daigo was a perfect opportunity to be in this Battle Pass. I mean, he should have been the tier 100 skin. His skin is so much more full of aura and better designed than Morgan Mist, in my opinion. And I wish they would have given him a glider because his shop version did not get a glider. A couple more styles that progressed him up to that tier 100 status would be so cool and way better than Morgan Mist, in my opinion, at least. And I think that the fact that they brought Core back is really cool. I love it when they bring back existing characters from the story, and I think she should stay as a shop skin. I think that's a good fit for her. But I also saw a concept for 4-armed Daigo on Twitter, which I'll throw up on the screen now, and I don't know how that would work. They've done skins kind of like that in the past, but it would just look so cool. Like he looks like Sukuna from JJK. So yeah, I just really enjoy that Daigo skin, and I bought it instantly. The weapons this season and the items are very unique. I really like the Synthwave gauntlets as movement, and they were super great for destroying structures before they got nerfed crazily by 120%, which I think was absolutely stupid. The Mist gauntlets are very mid and should be slightly buffed to do a little bit more damage because you die almost every time you try to use them. The scanner thing that Kill Switch has. Should have durability, in my opinion. It's a little bit overpowered right now. Crypto needs to come down faster or something because he's kind of useless to hold in your inventory. Sprites are cool, but not very useful. I wish the healing one was still around. I think the Superman one is fine. It just doesn't really do that much damage. And then the Dash one, I just never use it. And I love the Kill Switch pistols. Easily the coolest weapon Fortnite has ever added, in my opinion. And I've had some really great moments using those. So now, let's talk about what's coming up in Fortnite. We have lots to look forward to. Mostly tonight, we're getting a new update that will bring with cosmetics, of course, Squid Game collaboration with Fortnite, which is insane. We're going to get a reload map and probably some cosmetics, probably some skins, probably the pink guards, the main characters, of course. Bruno Mars' festival season starts tomorrow. This was a big surprise. Everybody thought it was going to be Deadmau5. Before that, they thought it was going to be Daft Punk. So I don't really know. I think his skin looks okay, but he also does have one in the game, so I'm not the biggest fan of this. We're getting a new Blitz game mode, which I'll talk about a little bit more later. We're getting leaks for the mini live event, which is happening this season. Fortnite Crew is getting the July skin, so we'll see how that looks tonight. Superman cosmetics are going to be revealed as part of the Battle Pass, and we're also going to get more leaks about his mythic. I don't know if it's coming tomorrow or if we're just going to get a little bit of a sneak peek. We're going to see the Battle Pass Super Styles. The Battle Bus SUV is going to be added from Rocket League. Son Heung-min or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce that Korean soccer player's name. He's going to be getting an icon skin. Lego Expeditions is a new mode coming, so that makes 3 Lego modes. We're going to get leaks for the companion feature, which is like animals that follow you around. Icon emotes. And it's unknown when this is coming. I don't know if it's coming tomorrow or in the future, but we're going to get a casual mode for OG, which will be only 12 real players. So maybe this means we'll have regular matches have no bots in them. I think that would be great for the game mode because it's kind of dying right now. Team Rumble will be removed and replaced with the training ground mode. Team Rumble has also been dead for a long time. I used to play that back in the day, but it's really got no place anymore. And I'm interested to see how this training ground mode works. So let's talk about these new game modes because there's lots to say. So we're getting a reload map that is based on Squid Games, as you can see here on the screen. I'm just really confused how this is going to work as a BR concept because most of these rooms they're showing are like enclosed underground in like the Squid Games complex, hence making the dropping in part not so easy. But I don't know, maybe I'm misunderstanding how they're going to work. We'll have to see though. And I don't really know if this was necessary. And I think I would prefer an official like UFN game mode where you participate in the Squid Games, like, you know, the actual show, but in Fortnite, with some new games, some new ideas. I think that might have been a little bit more interesting. And maybe like if you win, you get a skin. Okay, actually I'm cooking. That would have been a great like Fortnite event for a week to do. You get a skin if you win. It can be multiple winners, of course, but it wouldn't be that easy. I think that'd be a great idea. And I think maybe that would have been a better idea than what they're doing here. And we're also going to be getting a new Lego game mode, which makes 3 in total. It's called Lego Expeditions, and I think it sounds pretty cool, actually. I might have to give it a try. It's going to be very similar to Save the World, I've heard. You kind of choose a role, and you fight Daigo's people. It's about all I know about it. But I do like how it's connected to the Battle Royale storyline. But like I said earlier, I wish that Spire like extraction digging site was a POI in Battle Royale instead, because that's what I play the most of course. So what is Blitz? Blitz is a new fast-paced game mode with less people, and it's designed with mobile players in mind. So what does this mean? There's going to be themed weeks with crazy things like exotics, old bosses and their mythics. Like, for example, we could have Shogun X's mythic from the Chapter 6 Season 1. We could have the mythics from Wrecked. We could have Midas's mythics, so probably the most famous ones. Basically, any mythic that's ever existed because of a boss, that could be in that week. TMNT Melee Week is going to be the TMNT items, but also I've heard that they're going to include Nitro Fists, the Kneecapper, other melee weapons we've had before, which I think is really cool. And another one that's been leaked is an Avatar Week, where we're going to get the Avatar mythics back. So there's so much potential for this new game mode for Epic Games to just be creative with old collab mythics, which never return usually. And I think this also sort of fills the slot where that mobile games have right now that Epic can't really compete with, because even when Fortnite was on mobile, you kind of like didn't really want to play it in the same settings that people play their mobile games because matches are usually 20 minutes plus, but this can kind of fill that short, quick-paced slot that Fortnite never has really filled. And so I think that's really cool. The games will probably be like 10 minutes or less maybe. So I think that's a great idea. And I also think this is a brilliant way to bring back LTMs in an interesting way, because we all know that they have not been hitting the same when Epic brings them back. But now they can really get creative using this mode as like a sort of sandbox and a place to, cook up new ideas. And they already have a map. This game mode is going to take place on the existing reload maps. So I think that means Venture, which is the Chapter 1 one. Oasis, which is, the Paradise Palms inspired Western one, and then Slurp Rush. So I think just those three, but using those three maps, they could cook up a lot of ideas. Like we've already said, bring back Mythics. There's just so many topics or weeks they could do for theming for this. So everything sounds perfect, right? The problem I have with this is that apparently this whole Blitz game mode is just an LTM and is leaving mid-July. So I'm like really confused. I'm like, what's the point of ditching such a cool concept with so many different ideas you could do, only having that be for less than a month? It just feels weird to me. And I don't know if they're maybe going to extend it. Maybe they're trying it out, and if people enjoy it, they'll bring it back really frequently. But I think this should be honestly a permanent game mode that you constantly can experiment in if you're Epic Games. So to me, I think it should be permanent. But yeah, let's talk about some other things. So everything sounds good, right? Well, for one, in my opinion, you can tell that I just mentioned a ton of new game modes. Expeditions, Blitz, and casual mode potentially for OG. So that means we already have a split player base that is going to be even under more of a crunch. Like, I do not understand how Epic is going to manage this. Bots are already a huge problem with the player base, and so I don't know what they're going to do to deal with this. I think we need to start cutting back on dying game modes, kind of like they've done with Team Rumble here, and just, I don't know, maybe make lobbies a little bit smaller, like 80 players rather than 100, make the map a little bit smaller, but that's going to have to be some changes going forward because they can't just really do that right now. But yeah, there has to be a solution to this. Overall, I'm really excited for Blitz and all the potential it has. I don't know how I feel about it being on the reload maps because I don't really like all of those. I've kind of gotten sick of them playing reload enough. But yeah, lots of new game modes coming, lots of new content. It's really a lot to keep track of nowadays. We're kind of in the heat of it right now, right before they go on their break for the summer. So I'll keep you guys updated. Let me know what you guys think about all of this, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. Peace.